Are you feeling overwhelmed? Hi, I'm Guy Ardeel, relationship expert, strategist, coach, and author. And today I want to talk to you about how to handle overwhelm. Because the reality is, we almost all have to deal with that at one time or another. And when we're dealing with it in our relationship, it can cause strife. That, if not handled, can build up and build up and build up and cause really big problems that don't have to be there. And in our business, if we let it get the best of us, then we're going to start making mistakes, losing deals, and the business is going to fall apart. So really managing stress, and especially when it gets to that kind of overwhelm point, is tremendously important. So what do we do? Well, the first thing is to recognize that overwhelm is a feeling. The reality is you have however many things to do, however many people vying for your attention. Now, overwhelm is the sensation that you are feeling as a result of what you have to do and who's vying for your attention. Some people feel overwhelmed with very little. Some people don't feel overwhelmed with a lot. And there's, of course, a whole bunch in between. So really, a lot has to do with you. But the important point here is that dealing with overwhelm is not so much about finding a new method of productivity as it is around managing yourself, particularly your focus and your psychology. And the easiest, most efficient way to get yourself out of overwhelm is to understand how you most experience the world. What do I mean by that? Well, most people experience the world very visually. Some people experience the world auditorily and others kinesthetically, right, in terms of touch and movement. By understanding how you most experience the world, you can use a strategy that will help get you out of overwhelm. Now, let's use some examples. If you are a visual person, then a couple things spring to mind, right, that I work with my clients. One is to visualize everything that you have in front of you, if it's on a real or imagined board. I prefer that they use an imaginary board. They can put everything up in whatever order makes sense to them in terms of relationships and priorities. And then they visualize it all fading out of view, or maybe melting downwards, maybe both at the same time, while breathing in and out, in and out. So use this visualization of everything disappearing, melting away, while doing a nice, deep, slow, steady breath is very effective. If someone is auditory, then it really depends on how different kinds of sound and music affect them. Some people who are auditory are relaxed by silence. Others need certain types of music or sound. So you have to know yourself, right? If sound is agitating to you, then you need to get yourself in a quiet room or practice drowning things out. You can literally cover your ears at the beginning while you're practicing, and everything fading out, fading out, fading out until, for example, you get the quiet that you need. Or you could play certain types of music that might be relaxing for you. Maybe it's nature sounds. Maybe it's old Bach cantatas or something like that. You've got to experiment. You've got to know yourself. And finally, if you're kinesthetic, then it's very much about movement. And again, different people respond to different kinds of movements, even if they are kinesthetic. But generally, nice, slow, relaxing movements, nice and controlled, orderly, are usually very effective to getting out of overwhelm, because overwhelm is a perception that you're not in control, that things are moving fast. So as much as you can slow down and be in control, you're going to take yourself out of overwhelm and into a place where you're going to be effective, efficient, can manage a circumstance, whatever you need. Now, one thing that I really like to do with my clients combines a number of different modalities, and that's a Qigong wash. And to do that, you want to get your feet nice and on the ground, right? Nice and stable. So if you're shorter, then you want to make sure that you bring your chair down low so that you can really feel your feet solid against the ground. And again, if you're taller, you want that chair to be high enough so that your legs aren't bent. And ideally, you'd be doing this standing up, but I'm demonstrating at the desk because most people need to do this in the middle of the day while they're at their desk, either working or with a client, or frankly, just driving somewhere. So obviously, you got to pull over to the side of the road, but you can still be in your car. So what do you do from there? Okay, so you feel nice and solid. You want to inhale, raise your arms, over your head, nice and softly. And on the exhale, bring your arms down. You want to breathe so you can really hear it. In and out. And it's great to add a visualization here. That is a visualization that when your arms are coming up, you're bringing in this amazing water, this cleansing water. And as you bring your arms down, that water is washing over your brain, washing over your tissues, washing over all of your thoughts, everything in your mind, everything in your body, just leaving a nice, clear plate behind. Right? So we're bringing in movement, we're bringing in sound, and we're bringing in visualization. Keeping your joints nice and soft. Doing this for 5 or even 10 minutes can be amazingly effective. And I gotta tell you, when you practice, you'll find that if you get into a rhythm, you'll be able to relax and get out of overwhelm really in just a minute, sometimes just 30 seconds or so, because you become so anchored into the exercise, right? You've done it so much that your body and mind respond automatically. Other great things to do when you're feeling like too many people want something of you, or there's too much going on, is to literally move your body like you're spreading them out of your way. You can push them back. You can move them aside, right? Push them up. Again, experiment with what kinds of directions work best for you, but this is very, very effective. This is based on my training in neurolinguistic programming, which is a very effective way of kind of mind hacking, you might say. You might say it's the original mind hacking, started in the 70s, and it's highly efficient methodologies for recognizing and leveraging how somebody experiences the world to change their emotional state, even changing physical things like muscle tension and even allergic responses. It's really pretty remarkable. So what do you want to do? You want to know whether you're primarily visual, auditory, or kinesthetic. You want to do something that you know you best respond to in your primary modality, whether, for example, if you're visual, that's making something fade or changing the color or maybe moving out of sight. If you're auditory, it could be silence or maybe a particular type of tone. And if you're kinesthetic, a particular type of movement and possibly mixed in with a bit of stillness. And ideally, you can bring all three together, right, like I did in that Qigong exercise. Right, so I'm visualizing that water is cleansing through my mind and body. And I gotta tell you, I'm doing this today because I am dealing with my own bit of overwhelm between my wife being sick, my mom being sick, myself being a little bit under the weather, and trying to get a whole bunch of work done for a product launch I'm working on, in addition to servicing my existing clients and dealing with some house renovations before the winter sets in. So there's a lot on my plate, and this is exactly what I'm taking out of my toolbox to use for myself. I wanted to share that here with you today. So I hope you find this useful. Again, Guy Ardito. My website is guyardito.com. If you're interested in any of my digital training programs or coaching packages, you can go right there to guyardito.com. There's also a new 4-part free training, absolutely free video-based training that you can do. All you got to do is enter your email and you'll have instant access. Again, that's at guyardito.com. So, hope you're doing well. I look forward to speaking with you next time. Until then, remember, life is an adventure. Live in love.